Hello everyone, welcome to another video. My name is David and today we are talking about Hedera Hashgraph. Title is how to make or you can make $100,000 with HBAR. Now I'm always talking about $1 million amounts, $1 million plus, but I think a lot of people have more attainable and achievable goals with $100,000 with HBAR, especially considering a lot of people who hold HBAR. It's not the top position in their portfolio. For me, it's like 5th or 6th place. So I'm not a huge HBAR holder. Now in the last video, I said HBAR is creating 10,000 millionaires based on the bracket of 100,000k HBAR to 2 million based on the price prediction of $10 per HBAR, which I went on about in the last video. Now for 100k per HBAR, I'd probably say the bracket of 10k to 100k. Obviously, it depends on your price predictions. It'll go above that, I think, but 10k is the minimum. Now, if we go to half between that, 50,000 HBAR. If you're staking, it is huge. A lot of people don't, look at it that much. It's only an extra $195 per year. But if you consider that, when we actually hold that amount to $10, that amount in specifics, that is an extra $32,282 worth. And guess how many years it's actually going to take to get to $10 per HBAR? I don't think it's going to happen in the next bull run. So quite a lot of years. It's going to compound over time, and the end result will definitely be a lot more than $100,000. I'm going to go further into a lot of HBAR news. Stick around to the end of the video. So without further ado, here we go. Okay, so we will come back to this in the middle of the the video, 100k with HBAR, go over the staking with that sort of bracket and stick to that sort of theme with the crypto coin calculator. And then at the end of the video, we're going to come back to the community section. What crypto did you accumulate the most in October, and go over the comment section. But I want to show this tweet here. This is Bitcoin Magazine. Breaking. $512 billion asset manager Apollo now offers Bitcoin and crypto custody for institutions. Look at the engagement on this post, 2,300 likes, 500 retweets. Everyone is going crazy. But if you go to the quote retweet here, HBAR Foundation breaking $583 billion plus asset manager Aberdeen ABRDN is part of the Hedera Governing Council exploring fund tokenization. And there's so many entities on the governing council to think when they actually go live, they're actually not going to use Hedera would be silly. Not to mention, in relation to the HBAR Foundation, they committed $360 million to ecosystem projects. No wonder everyone and everything is building on Hedera. And to look back to one of the governing council members, LG, obviously launching LG Art Labs, where you can buy and sell Hedera NFTs from your TV. No wonder in the last video, the NFT activity is at an all-time high. Here we have an article, very interesting, pay attention. A former IBM finance leader is on a blockchain-based mission to get central banks to use digital currency. So we can see further down, after a 10-year career in finance and technology, IBM, governing council member, Cadet made a pivot to working toward financial inclusion, is the founder of CEO of MTech. We can see further down at CBDCs. So the US doesn't have central bank digital currency CBDC. So further down, our projection is that by 2024, at least 20% of large enterprises will use digital currencies for either payments, stored value, or investment. And to string it all together, MTech and CBDCs, we know that MTech's infrastructure only uses Hedera's consensus. And here we have MTech to pilot US CBDC in the Digital Dollar Project Sandbox program. We know that Ripple are involved, and also MTech just tweeted this about a week ago now. James Wallace of Ripple discussing with Cadet, who was just in the article. So is that a potential connection with Hedera and Ripple for the Digital Dollar Project? I already know that Hedera is working on CBDC. Melissa's partnership with Hedera Hashgraph to build an energy efficient CBDC to support its newly announced green CBDC framework, and another CBDC which we're going to talk about later on in the video. Here we have HBAR to the moon. 27 of the world's largest organizations, institutions, banks spread across industry, geography, and governments are running Hedera's network. Just think about that. I talked about this in the last video, or not last video, it was Hedera or HBAR versus XAC. Definitely go and check that video out after you watch this one. Quite an in-depth analysis on Hedera and the governing council, and talking about how it's not centralized because there's not one singular point of failure. It's spread across so many entities. So many other blockchains are focused on one specific use case, while Hedera is taking on every single one. That's why they're choosing Hedera, not to mention the scalability, the speed, and so on. Also, HBAR Danny, account suspended. I did not know his account got suspended. If you remember him tweeting Coinbase every single day, day 20, day 100 of asking Coinbase to list HBAR, finally got listed. I wonder where he went. He got banned, but didn't really do much to price anyway, so it is what it is. Also, Zoop secures $15 million in partners with Ready Player Me ahead of global platform launch on Hedera. Now, the people involved are very interesting. Former OF founder RJ Phillips and former OF CEO Tim Stokely. And the very interesting part of this article was, in May, Zoop announced that it would be powered by Polygon. However, the platform is now launching on enterprise-grade public ledger Hedera. We're constantly seeing projects, mainly NFTs, switch over from ETH, migrate to Hedera because it's EVM compatible, but I think this is one of the first times I've seen the switch happen from Polygon. Very, very interesting. It will be happening more and more over time, or just from the first instance, choose Hedera instead of actually going to these Polygon, Ethereum, etc. Also, Lumo Labs, they are a global Web3 community building a metaverse for developers built on Hedera. They received over 500 plus applications, shortlisted top 20 startups, bootcamp phase of the Hatch free accelerator for Hedera. Next phase can bring them closer to winning a pool of 150,000 USD. And one day, all of this growth, all of this positive movement within the Hedera ecosystem, finally one day it will actually correlate with the price of HBAR, but not today, not today. Also, back to the title, which I said I was going to do. With actual amounts, 10,000 HBAR, there is 26,654 wallets, and that to dollars right now is 600. And if you hold that all the way to $10 per HBAR in the future, that is $100,000 worth, $99,000 profit. So if you just promise yourself to hold 10,000 HBAR, never touch it until these later years, you'll be pretty good. If you want to make $100,000 with HBAR next bull run, let's just say we only go to $3 per HBAR next run, as a low ball estimate or maybe a high ball depending on your price predictions, that's only giving you $29,000 profit with $600 invested. So let's just say you got 40,000 coins, so 2,400. You're in that $100,000 sort of profit range. I think 30,000, you won't be touching that. Near enough. So you want to be aiming for that 35,000, 40,000 coins if you want to reach 100k with HBAR for the price prediction of $3. I want to relate this whole segment to this tweet here by Crypto Nagato. Dreaming decades, planning years, executing weeks, living days. I want to put my own interpretation of this, living days. So what can you do right now? Well, you can put a plan in place every single week, every single month that you can DSay into HBAR, for example. Execute that plan. So DSay every week. Stick to your word. DSay every single month. Plan in years. How much are you investing with your current financial situation every single week, every single month? Put that in, add all the way up, that whole amount for maybe 2 years from now. Then put in your realistic expected price predictions. Obviously, the price of the asset is going to change, so it's not going to be 100% accurate. And then if your financial goals, say you want to make $1 million with HBAR or $100,000 with HBAR, and you're only putting in $50 a month or $100 a month, even if you add that over 3 years, it's not equaling your realistic, your expected profit, well then it's not going to work. Where's that money going to come from? So you have to reevaluate your plan. You have to be like, okay, maybe I need to put more money in, or maybe I need to stop being so diversified between 20 assets and cut down to maybe 5 or 4 that I truly believe in. I actually used that plan very recently. I think I sold a lot of my global Binance. The majority of it, I sold a lot of my WADS pay, because I just have so many assets that's just sitting there. I'm not planning to buy again, and they're just sitting there, and they're low caps. I'm like, I think I can make more returns out of those. So I sold quite a lot, and I actually bought 5 quant from that amount that I sold, because I'm holding so many assets that they're just there. They're just there, and I really need to just minimize down the assets that I truly believe in. Last tweet today here is by Watcher Guru. India's central bank plans to launch its digital rupee CBDC pilot on November the 1st. How does this relate to Hedera Hashgraph? Well, we know that ITT Madras is working with the Indian government on a CBDC. And who are they a part of? Hedera's governing council. And the video is running pretty long. We have to come to a close very quickly. Lastly, we're going to go over the community section. What crypto did you accumulate the most in October? I really need to invest in a ring light or something. You can barely see my face, but I guess it doesn't really matter for this part. So the most voted one, unsurprisingly, is XRP, then HBAR. That's pretty surprising. HBAR is usually last on these lists, then QNT, then joint last place is XDC and other. Comments down below, we got LCXQNT, we got QNT, we got Marlin Pond. I'll need to check that one out after I make this video. Cardano, Casper, Silvercoin, Expector, see a lot of people talk about that. API free, that is a W. WadsPay, QNT, Casper, very, very decent projects. If you made it this far in today's video and you haven't seen, not yesterday's one, but 2 days before that, HBAR versus XDC, definitely go and check that one out. It's more deep dive analysis on HBAR, the governing council, virtual voting, all of that good stuff involved. Go and check that out. But if you made this far in the video, thank you very, very much for watching. Please leave a like down below, and I will definitely see you guys in the next one.